Impact evaluation is an assessment of how the intervention being evaluated affects outcomes, whether these effects are intended or unintended. For impact evaluation, we will need to consider certain factors. The objective of impact evaluation is what is the impact or causal effect of a program on an outcome of interest. Here, the central question would be the magnitude of change and the attribution of change. But what is the importance of impact evaluation in a study? The need to use impact evaluation can be determined by considering if the program has achieved the intended goals and the kind of policy decisions needed in order to expand, modify, or eliminate a program. This in turn brings about the question of how the changes would impact the treatment group without the program. We will then require a counterfactual or comparison group identical to the treatment group to establish causality, attributing changes to the treatment. Now let us understand what is meant by a counterfactual group. A counterfactual group can be understood as a group of non-participants, which is statistically identical to the participant group in the absence of the program. This enables the researcher to understand what would likely have happened to the members subject to the intervention had they not been exposed to the counterfactual case. The program would be ideally identical to the treatment group in observable and unobservable characteristics, and this treatment should be the only difference between an ideal comparison and a project group. Process evaluation ascertains whether program activities have been carried out in accordance with the planned outcomes. It helps to understand the mechanisms involved in the creation of successful programs that achieved the intended outcomes, and these programs can be reused and developed for other contexts. It can also be used when a program does not achieve the objectives for the targeted populations. So periodically, over the duration of the program, process evaluation can be done to analyze the logic model's input and output components. The central questions of process evaluation would be to track two things: the magnitude and attribution of change. Why is it important to use process evaluation in a study? This method of evaluation is used for the researcher to be able to report on the program and utilize the information to improve the subsequent actions because of the findings of a process evaluation. This method also enables the researcher to keep track of the who, what, when, and where information about the programs, such as what would happen to the treatment group without the program, or who was the target of your program efforts, or when did the activities for the program take place.